Feminism didn't set women free. It made them less happy than they were in the 1970s, and it was planned.
That's insane. Women have more rights now.
Wharton economists proved it in 2009. Despite more money, more freedom, happiness dropped. The Ford Foundation funded this shift. They used a moral movement to double the workforce so companies could pay less. They made you love your cage.
So it was a trap.
Elizabeth Warren proved the math. Two incomes didn't make families richer. Housing ate the difference. She blamed the economy, but the economy was designed.
Designed how?
When parents work 80 hours a week, they can't filter what kids learn. The state gets a monopoly on their minds. Alone, you buy more. Need the state more. They replaced your family with a payroll. They sold women exhaustion and called it empowerment. They sold men irrelevance and called it progress. They broke the family and called it freedom.
So how do you fight a trap you can't even see?
You learn the playbook. Get the Propaganda Codex at sigillamalexio.com. Link.
How can you fight the program? You need the Lord in your life. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash, the bonus of the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and the few sisters out there, unto the like foreigners, and the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. This is kind of ironic though, because normally I would just play the video over again, keep it a mute, but the picture just speaks louder than words. And we heard what the man said, which we've been saying that from the get-go, from the long ago. Everything's coming to fruition is a repeat of the same message, because the same message applies to this very day, to this very moment. What that man just said is absolutely true. Now, the foolishness of women is this key thing. I was going to play in the background, but I couldn't find it. But it's all good, though. It's Mary J. Blige, happiness. Or, all she wants to be is happy. In a world that's filled with emptiness, you can never be happy. And happiness is just an emotion. Now, I'm going to break it down simply like this. Well, the perfect example was Pookie and New Jack City. And what I said use that for, when they asked him about crack, cocaine, what did he say? He says, when you get that first hit, it's like you're in a Star Trek, another realm, you're in space. And what crackheads do, they always go for that hit. They look for that familiar feeling as the first time, but they can never achieve it. So what they end up doing, they end up keep chasing that which they can never achieve. So majority of you people out there put goals in your life, an unachievable thing that you fail to understand. It was there for the moment. There was a moment in your life where you could sit there and say, I experienced this, and this is how it was. And you're supposed to relish that moment. That's why in the ancient world, people told stories of a particular event. And when that event happened, they would tell the story as they were there, because they understand what that story was all about. So women, they fall for that fairy tale story, that Disney World story, the Prince Charming story, right? And once they find Prince Charming, they'll be forever happy, but not knowing that the devil got them fooled. And the devil, not only has you fooled, he's eating off of your stupidity. And when he's eating off your stupidity, he's making you more miserable than you ever was because you're chasing a feeling that will never come back. All right. That's why when you watch films and you keep getting how two people fall in love, it's always the same. It's a simple thing that one day and then they're supposed to be there for the rest of their lives. Not even building into that. They don't even build no more. I was seeing a picture which was kind of ill. I don't know. Maybe I hold on for a second. It was on YouTube. Nope, this is not gonna be there no more. It's all right. And there was a picture of a couple, and the couple said people don't know about grown old together. And it's just a smile. You just smile at that because then that's reality. People don't grow old together because this society, this microwave society, proves them that they don't have to. Just chase the happiness. Most people chase money, unachievable thing. Happiness, an unachievable thing, and they fall for it. Why? Because the devil have you fooled. You women have got just like Eve, and you carry the same trait as your foremother Eve, who got fooled by the serpent. You got fooled by the serpent, and the serpent enjoys the fact that you got fooled by him, and he's eating off of your stupidity because it's something that you're gonna pass down to your daughters and your daughters. All right, is a trait of hoardism, your horror's activities that you will pass down. And what's that horror's activities that you pass down? How to tear your shit apart. Self-destructive. That's self-destructive behavior because you're looking for happiness. Oh, I'm not happy. Bitch, find some form of way of happiness. All right? Look at the little things, but you don't because you have an unachievable and unsatiable desire. Okay? Proverbs 14:1, it says, every woman buildeth her house. So it's about building. All right? When you're in a relationship with a man, it's about building. You're building something. You're building to a potential clan, a tribe, a kingdom. That's what we're here for. We are a race of kings and priests. So our backbone, the wives that we require, is supposed to aid in building of that. All right, building a kingdom, building something special. But no, the majority want to be in the forefront, and be in the forefront for what? For what? You're not built for that. You wasn't created for that. You was created to be the backbone, the rib onto the man, to assist him, to build. But this society got you fucked up. It says, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. So the foolish pluck it down with her hands. And you have generations. The Western women, modern day women, are trash. All they know how to do is tear themselves apart because they're never satisfied. I was what else? Oh, I was watching damn, I forgot the name of the movie. I can't even pronounce it. The movie with Denzel Washington and this East Indian woman, fine ass East Indian woman, Mississippi molasses or something like that. Mississippi molasses, whatever. I don't know. I can't. And there was a scene where he was trying to make this Negro woman jealous because I guess, she got big. She was from Mississippi. She was from the town Greenwood, and she made it into the music industry. So she's going out flying, everybody loving her. But the guy she was dealing with, Denzel Washington, she left him cold turkey. But the father still loved her and everything like that. So there was a scene where the character Denzel Washington brought the new woman, to make the other woman jealous. And she got jealous real quick. And I made an inside joke when I was watching it because the East Indian woman, she has natural hair. Now the irony of it all, like today you see majority of women have wigs, and the wigs you get either back in the days was from horses, but now you get it from the East Indian women. So it's just you losing your man to women that has natural hair that willing to build with that man. All right. That's why there's a saying out there: go where you wanted. So the foolish women, which the majority of our women are just nothing but pure idiots, retards, they tear their own shit apart and then still expect somebody to come fix it for them. Like, a maintenance man to come fix their fucking problem. And then as if it does get fixed, guess what she would do? She'll break it down again. This so Esau allowed the average woman to be self-destructive to her own. There's no one else. She would destroy her own. All right. She would literally destroy her own because of this fake achievement of happiness. She fell for the trap. Now they miserable. They stay miserable, even if they got what the earthly desires that they desire. They're gonna remain miserable because they're under that curse. Sirach 28:13. Curse the whisperer and the double tongue, for such have destroyed many that were at peace. And the whisperer, the double tongue, is Esau, the devil, the so-called white man. He deceived you. That's what the whole thing was about. You've been deceived. You're not getting the thing that you desire. Here it is. They give you this stupid ass idea of thing called feminism. And instead of trying to be equal to the man, which you're never trying to be equal, you're trying to be over the man. You try to play the role of a man. All right. And I've noticed since I've been watching television that all the movies is centered around female um aspiration. In other words, trying to make you bitches happy, but you're never happy. And that's always been the propaganda, which we always go into. The CIA's push certain things during certain administration. They push certain type of movies. A lot of homosexual movies pass by, no warning, no nothing. It's just right in the mix, just right in the mix, and they do that deliberately. And then all you women assist that shit because you promote that shit. You try to downplay a man, and the best way you downplay a man is by downplaying his sexuality, which you promote. You promote the fact that the homosexuals and everything like that to destroy your own. You're the most self-destructive beings out there because the serpent gave you the green light to destroy, to chase something that you could never achieve. All right, happiness. What is the movie? There's the pursuit of happiness. Which sounds good, but ain't nobody designed to be happy all the time. It's like you're not desired to be angry all the time or to love all the time. You know. Matter of fact, I'll be back to this. Ecclesiastes 3:1. It says, "To everything there's a season, and a time for every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to break down, and time to build up, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance." And the average person right now they don't know what time they're in. They're still chasing that high. And here it is, the world around you is crumbling. How the fuck you gonna chase something when the environment is telling on itself? It's never gonna be the same. It's not the time no more. That time of men chasing women or trying to court women, it's over. Nobody want to be bothered by the opposite sex. Why? Because these devils, they did a number. And that spirit of mirth is leaving. It says a time to cast away stones and time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get, a time to lose, a time to keep, a time to cast away, a time to render, a time to sow, a time to keep silence, a time to speak. And when we're speaking, we're letting it be known what it is. That you whether you like it or not, it's never gonna go back. This is the same way bitches got the nerves. Oh, it's not gonna go back to the '70s. It's not gonna go back. Bitch, it ain't gonna. It's not. It's not gonna go back to the peak of when feminists was. Nah, it's not going. It's never going back. And what was the catastrophic event that proved that was not coming back? C-19. The C-19 is that proved that everything was not going to go back, and it went back to a certain degree, but it wasn't the same. All right, things are moving forward. It says a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. What profit have he that worketh in that wherein he laboreth? So the majority of people don't understand the time that they're in. We're in survival mode. All right. And a lot of these women in their weird mind believe that they're always a centerpiece. Well, that time is over. When you go back and you listen to the music in the 50s and the 60s, everything was catered to women. 70s, 80s, you know what I'm saying? That was the music that was really being pushed out there. Like women were the centerpiece. Even it's like I always say, spirit. All those songs back then, that was an imaginary woman because it didn't exist, especially in the '90s. You know that shit that these R&B singers were singing, that wasn't singing to an actual woman that existed. That was a fabricated woman that they created because the female nature she never satisfied. So what the fuck you know? You sing a song to a bitch, she's still gonna get at you. There was one particular guy. I mean, his songs was banging though. I ain't gonna hold. And that guy was Keith Sweat, and Keith Sweat was known for begging from women, and he came to that conclusion. Well, damn near all his songs was catered to women and catered to just begging them that he couldn't find that particular love. One of the relatives I was talking to, and he's like, "Yo, my favorite artist is Billy Joel, great artist, right?" And he said one thing that he's Billy Joel's trying to seek is love. So how is it the men that I'm going a little off subject, but the men that cater to a woman's needs, sing songs and everything that you could think of, how come they still can't find no fucking this thing called love? Why is that? And these are top people that had songs that when you hear it, you feel it. Cause that shit was fabricated. That shit wasn't real. The person felt a certain way, that was real. But the engine that was pushing it to for them wasn't real. All right. And it says, what was it? It's just a little verse 14, Sirach 28:14. A backbiting tongue have disquieted many and driven them from nation to nation. Strong cities have it pulled down and overthrow houses of great men. And I always bring it up to the spur of Yahweh Shem Yahushai when you go into Adam and Eve, because Adam was king, Eve was his woman, and she helped tear down that kingdom by disobeying her lord's um, law. All right, and it tore down. Not only did it affected Adam and Eve at the time, it was something that was generational. It affected everybody. You know, like you when you watch. That's why you have to watch movies. When you watch a lot of movies, one movie I was recently I was watching. Oh, Terminator. Right, the first one. Great movie. Great movie. What killed John Connor's? Who killed John Connor's father? Everybody say the Terminator, right? And the correct answer to that is no. It was Sarah Connor. Why? Why she's the one? Because she's the one that called when he told her not to call, not to do anything. All right, you're in a run. She calls, and then what end up happening? The Terminator end up finding them and eventually killed them. Well, killed the guy. So now the the future king, he grew up with just a single mother. All right, and there's countless other films of like the movie Blow before what's his face? Damn, his I see his face in my the movie Blow with damn Johnny Depp. All right, who helped tear them down? His woman. Oh, fucking Casino. If brothers have not seen Casino, yo, that is a must watch. All right, it's talking about doing wrong shit for the wrong people. But who ended up the downfall of that man was a woman. All right, was a woman. She helped tear down the whole empire because of what feelings. You know, men's judgment get them destroyed. And then the number one tool to destroy a man is always a woman. And what is her goal? Her goal is not to appease a man. Her goal is to be happy. A woman's happiness is the destruction of nations. Flat out. Hold on, let me see if I can remember exactly. Let me just type it in. No, I already the second Ezra. I think it's the fourth chapter. But damn it, man. I don't like this one. Hold on, let me see. Was it the first Ezra? Let's try first Ezra. It might be that one. Everybody should know I'm going. So you gotta get every man in this truth of ours gotta get their priorities straight. Because you can never satisfy that which is unsatisfied. That's why I like majority of women be like, "What? I need a man to make me laugh." Like, find a fucking clown. Look, you know what I'm saying? They can make you laugh. That doesn't make you happy. Happiness is not because you grin all the fucking time. It says first Ezra 4. Damn. All right, 4:14, but I don't. It's a long one. You know what? Let's just get to the point. 4:14. It says, "O ye men, is not the great king nor the multitude of men." This is the argument that great men had. All right, the consensus, and it says that excellence. Who is then that ruleth them, or have the lordship over them? Are they not women? Women have borne the king and all people, and bear rule by the sea and the land. Now, some idiot might sit there and say, "You see, even the scripture says it." This is an argument of men that came to their own conclusion, but the actual man of the Lord came with the greatest conclusion, and it wasn't women that is in power of anything. All right, Even of them came they, nourished up the plant, planted the vineyards from whence the wine cometh. These also make garments, which these are things of assistance. It's not, it's of value, but it's nothing to be praised. Like the wrong thing get praised in the society. Put it that way. These bring glory unto men. Without women cannot men be. And this is the same argument to this day. There's simps out there would argue this fucking point. Like that guy Polite. The black woman is God, and he was running around that fucking thing looked like a chicken head got cut off, and who took him down? A black woman. You can't make this thing up. All right. It says, yeah, and if men gathered together gold, silver, or any goodly thing, do they not love a woman which is comely in favor and beauty, and let it all those things go? Do they not grape and even with open mouth fix their eyes, fasten on women, fasten on her, and have not all men more desire unto her than unto silver or gold or any goodly thing whatsoever? A man live with his own father that brought him up in his own country and cleave unto his wife, which was something that Adam passed down, meaning Adam had a father and a mother. There's nothing wrong with that. And he's got himself a wife, and they moved on. They created their own family. There's nothing wrong with that. But these also, we must know that women have dominion over you. Do you not labor and toil and give and bring all to women? Yet a man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob and to steal, to sail upon the sea, upon rivers, and looketh upon a lion and goeth in the darkness. And when he have stolen and spoiled and robbed, he bringeth it to his love. Because why? He's an idiot. He's a simp. That's his goal. That's why a lot of films, what was always the strength of the character is their women, which was basically witchcraft. Because women are not the strength. The man gets his strength from the Most High. All right, he get his strength from the Most High, and women get strength by men. Just like the feminism. Feminism wasn't because women went and complained, and no, that was strengthened. That was strengthened by men. That was financed by men. All right, the elites backed that shit up. They propped her up. All right, they propped up the movement. They backed it up with finances, and here you got this madness. Okay, white men, and what was the goal of that? Wasn't to prop them up. It was to tax the shit out of the family and destroy the family and create a generation of freaking degenerates. All right. I seen a Instagram. I should have thinking, but sometimes I don't even want to bother. It was a woman filming her husband, whatever, teaching his daughter how to cook, and she had a fucking problem with that because she was 8 years old. I'm like, what kind of fucking retarded nonsense is that? And the people in the comment board, you know, they wasn't taking a side per se, but they wasn't even giving a good argument at the same time. It shows you the foolishness that it runs by. Like, what's wrong with her? What's wrong for men actually? Because he was like, you don't think that's something wrong with that? So y'all just completely destroyed any functional family. All right, you're gonna get what you want, and you're gonna get what you wish. Your desire of less men. Oh, there's gonna be a lot of less men, and the men that you're fighting for over, a lot of them is gonna perish. All right. It says, wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother. Yea, many that run out of their wits from women. and become servants for their sakes. Many also have perished, have erred, and have shined for women. And now do you not believe me? Is not the king great in his power? Do you not all reigns fear to touch him? So that was that man's argument. And that man's argument had some good points, but it wasn't the truth. And just to skip, Ezra came up and said, nah, it's the truth. Because guess what? The truth is like a raid to a woman. All right. The truth destroys women's logics because why? Women live in a delusional state. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. They the song great Fleetwood Mac song, tell me lies, tell me sweet, sweet little lies. And that's a woman's nature. She loves to be lied to. All right. So when the truth comes out, that's kryptonite for them. So the truth is far superior than anything. And they live in a delusional state. That's why Eve was deceived. Eve was deceived because she was in Delulu land. All right. She really thought that she could be over her husband. She could be the final. She could be the boss. And who grants that power? Men, wicked men in the society grants that power. Well, guess what? All that power, all that shit that they had is going out the fucking window. Isaiah 28, 29, and 16. It says, "Surely your turning of things upside down should be esteemed as the potter's clay. For for shall the work say of him that made it, he made it not, or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he have no understanding." So all this fabricated um, foolishness is gonna be thrown right side up the way it was intended to be. It was never intended to be what the world that we see the way it is. That's why there's divorce rates. That's why there's people don't match up correctly. All right, the people are forcing each other to be with each other. They'll always win. And this is our job through the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai to do that. First or second, Second Corinthians 10:5, 4. It said, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds," and that's part of the strongholds. All right, all that shit is part of the stronghold. That's part of the system, and it's being thrown down by what? Just the word alone. That's why everybody speak damn near the same thing. Everybody was shocked at Kevin Samuels for the things that he said. But this book has always been what the world called red pill before even red pill was even thought of. All right, this is why they hate this book, because this book cuts them. The truth is rayed onto the female nature. It's their kryptonite. They cannot stand it. They want to live in the Lulu land. And this word, with this word, when the truth comes out, it cuts down the bullshit. It says casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High. Because why? The knowledge of the Most High is order and structure, brings everything back into order and structure, which they rather not be. They rather have men keep the old traditional way of taking care of them, but they modify themselves, which men are not tolerating no longer. So feminism is dead. And that's because of what? The power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It says, and bringing into captivity some women going back to their husbands, right? You're gonna go right back where you belong. That's why Isaiah 4:1 is so beautiful. And Isaiah 4:1 is gonna force everything to go back into order. Isaiah 32:9. All right. The days of comfortability is over. All right. The days of being chased, you're going to be chased. All right. You're going to be chased by men that you rather not be chased. First is going to be everybody distancing themselves like how they are right now. And the next thing you know it, when all hell breaks loose, it's over. It says, bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahweh Shai. And what is the obedience of Yahweh Shai? How did Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai is the one that is responsible for everything. He created everything. He created everything under order. All right. So he created everything under order. You think he came to change that which was established? Absolutely not. That's why he said what he said. He said, "Did not the Lord made male and female at the beginning?" All right. I haven't read this in a while, so it says, I said, yeah, that's a great one. Oh, it was 11. I'm sorry, I got it backwards. It says, 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Yahweh Shai, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of the most of Yahweh Shai is the Most High. So you can't go around telling a man what the fuck how to serve the Lord. Bitch, you gotta serve that man. That's the only way you're gonna be saved. That's the only way you're gonna be taken care of. All right, things are gonna go back to its natural order, flat out. Everything's gonna go back to its natural order, whether people like it or not. And then the pursuit of happiness and all that madness, that's gonna be thrown out the window. It's gonna be about the pursuit of survival. All right, how are we gonna survive today? How are we gonna survive? How are we gonna get by today? That's all it's gonna be about. And if you with the right personnel, you be all right. If you with the elect, you be all right. If you with the wrong personnel, which a majority of women you love picking the wrong guys, you're gonna be dead, flat out. All right, straight up, ain't sugarcoating shit. So with that being said, shalom to the elected nation Israel. Shalom.